Hello everyone, it's really good to be able to speak to everyone in our villages of Histon and Impington in these times when we are isolated and separated from one another. We had a discussion in our family the other night, what are we going to do of an evening? And we decided to watch a film together. I expect many of you are doing the same. The film we watched was called Amazing Grace. You may have seen it when it came out in 2006 in the cinemas. With a star cast of Ioan Gruffudd, Benedict Cumberbatch and Albert Finney, it tells the story of William Wilberforce and his lifelong call to end and abolish slavery in the British Empire. Wilberforce had an extraordinary determination in this cause, and it was one that took a lifelong commitment. The film itself has a really interesting local connection. The person who conceived the film and produced it grew up in Histon. His mother was a member of St Andrew's Church. But this story of Wilberforce made me wonder, where do we see such determination and commitment today? The most obvious answer to that is surely in those who work in our National Health Service. Having stewarded their God-given talent and interest in healing through a commitment to long hours of study and hard work, day in, day out, our doctors, our nurses, our care workers and others show an extraordinary level of determination and courage. And today at St Andrews, we pray every morning for all those whom we know who work for our NHS from our villages. And if you do, and you would like us to pray for you, then please do drop me an email and we'd love to include you in our prayers, or just phone the church office. But this remarkable group of people who serve our NHS are now being supported by volunteers across our two villages in every street. An incredible effort has been made to bring this about, and it's not been without its challenges. We are so grateful to those of you who have offered to serve and those who've led this initiative. Thank you so much. It's wonderful to be part of a community that cares so deeply for one another. Those who study this kind of trauma and crisis that we're going through as a nation and in the world today, notice something. After the initial enthusiasm, which gets people through learning together with new partners and learning to work together with new partners, there can often be a drop in support and even conflict. And I guess it's likely that we will experience something of that in our villages, even if we don't think it will affect us. If it does, we'll need the example of people like Wilberforce and his amazing determination to see the race through to the end. Many people have been saying about this virus that it is a marathon, not a sprint. We need determination to get to the end of the race. And for me, it's the kind of determination that I see supremely in the life of Jesus of Nazareth, whose utter determination to destroy the power and hold that death has over us and to have us enabled to have friendship with God is cause for overwhelming gratitude and hope. Today we are all worried about getting sick, and the fear of death lurks around every corner. And yet in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, there is a real hope. Every morning, I pray for every resident in our village. And I pray that we may continue to be determined to care for one another and live in hope and not lose heart. The title of the film comes from the great hymn by John Newton, who was a great friend of Wilberforce and who's played by Albert Finney in the film. John Newton had been a slave trader, but his life had been utterly transformed and changed round when he came to faith in Jesus Christ, and he supported Wilberforce in seeking to end the slave trade. The hymn that he wrote, Amazing Grace, has a wonderful verse in it, which I'd like to share with you. It goes like this. Through many dangers toils and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. I pray that God's grace will bring our villages, communities together and through this great challenge, that we will not lose heart, that we will continue to be determined to care for one another and know a new kind of love and commitment towards one another. Thank you so much to all of you who have volunteered and are working for the good of our communities. It is so much appreciated, and there is so much to be thankful for.